Thank you for being here today. And thank you for all you do every day to help our students shape their futures. Welcome to a brand new year and a new and improved math curriculum. Our purpose for today is to provide you with opportunities to collaborate with colleagues from across the district in order to increase student achievement in math. By the end of today, you'll be able to access curriculum maps and instructional materials online, describe the instructional pathway of Math in Focus, understand, observe, and apply the lesson structure for the program. Over the course of the day, you'll work with the fundamentals of the program, and you'll be able to explain the essential math concepts for your grade level. And you'll get some practice with some grade level instructional strategies. Our protocols for the day are to begin and end on time, to take care of self and others, to avoid sidebar conversations. Please silence your cell phones, listen when others are speaking, and engage fully. Oh, and have some fun today. Our agenda is pretty straightforward. We'll begin with this brief welcome announcement, and then we'll turn the floor over to our professional development trainer from Houghton Mifflin Harcourt. Lunch today is on your own, and it will last for an hour, and we will have you on your way by 3:25 this afternoon. Hopefully you were able to bring along your teacher's edition Book A and a mobile device with internet access. If you don't have those, don't worry. Just find a friend who will let you look over their shoulder. I hope you saw the news headlines this summer, because ISD 728 was in the news for all the right reasons. Our students made phenomenal strides based on the results of the MCAs. Not only did our scores go up significantly district-wide, we now exceed the state average by 8% in math at the elementary school level. Of the 10 largest districts, we now rank second in mathematics at the elementary. Take a look at this bar graph. The results from 2011 are shown in blue. The results from 2012 are in lavender. You can see that our number of students who didn't meet or partially met proficiency has declined, while the number of students we have who have met or exceeded expectations has increased. So all the bars are moving in the directions we want them to be moving. Here's another way to look at it. In 2010-2011, 62% of our students were proficient in math based on the tests. That increased to 72% last year, a 10% increase in 1 year. That is phenomenal. That is success for a lot more students than we've had in the past. And it certainly is cause for celebration. Of course, in the newspaper article, they were trying to get to why such a big gain? Why a 10% increase in scores? What's behind that? And one person pointed out, rightly so, that students last year were able to retake that test 3 times and keep their highest score. And I'm sure that that was partly behind the increase in test scores. But it doesn't tell the whole story, because our gains in Elk River far outpaced gains in other parts of the state. And so there has to be more at work than just that. The article also mentions the fact that we're implementing PLCs and RTI, and we have some math interventions and all of those things. And I think they're important, obviously. But I know what's behind that increased student achievement. It's the super teachers we have in this district. It's due to your dedication and your hard work. PLCs and RTI are just programs. It's people like you who implement those programs who make the difference for students. It's people like you who go the extra mile to find math resources when we don't have them and to put them to use in your classroom. It's people like you who keep learning about math and math education and math instruction and trying to do it better and better and reach more and more students all the time. You're amazing. And these test results are amazing. And they're so worth celebrating. This group of people is also worth celebrating. For 2 years, they dedicated themselves to studying math, and math in ISD 728 specifically. They are responsible for choosing our new math resources. When they were choosing the math resources, they had 5 goals in mind. The first one was they needed to choose resources that would address the Minnesota State standards and address them earlier than we've done in the past. So there would be none of this frantic racing around 2 weeks before the test trying to cram in all kinds of information, because that doesn't give kids time to learn. They also wanted to choose resources that would allow them to implement best practices. We've learned a lot about those from Greg Tang and Sandy Berg and Quantum Learning and Kim Sutton. We needed resources that would allow us to implement things like differentiation and flexible grouping and intervention. We needed to increase the rigor because the world is demanding increased rigor. We needed to empower students because we don't want students feeling like they're just no good at math. And we needed to ensure equity. We needed to be sure that all students had access to the core curriculum, and we needed to ensure that all students across the district had access to the same materials, resources, and technology. In short, we were looking to move from having ordinary resources to having extraordinary resources. And the reason this is so important is not because of test scores. It's important because of the student in the desk. Because so often they decide early on whether they're good in math or not good in math, and it's really hard to change their thinking on that as time goes by. And so we really are striving to have as many kids be successful in math as early as possible so that their futures can include higher level math courses and more success. And so the committee has chosen 2 programs, Everyday Counts Calendar Math and Math in Focus. If you think of Math in Focus as your core curriculum and Everyday Counts as your enhancement, that will help you to prioritize. As well as the presenter told us last spring, Math in Focus is the bricks and Everyday Counts is the mortar. But let's set some priorities because we've given you an awful lot of materials. You're now kind of resource rich, and you can't learn them all overnight. Rome wasn't built in a day, and this math program isn't going to be built in a day either. So your first priorities are to learn the curriculum maps. They are posted on the wiki, and I'll show you how to get to that in a minute. And then focus on Math in Focus itself, that program. You'll want to get to know Think Central because that's your online access to Math in Focus. So those 2 will go hand in hand. Secondly, worry about Everyday Counts Calendar and learning how to work those smart boards more effectively. Those things will come, and we will provide support as the year goes on those 2 things, but just know that that support's going to come later because those are a second priority, not a top priority right now. We've provided you with some lifelines. You have today's workshop. There'll be another grade level workshop on October 22nd, and we'll have a workshop in the spring as well. We encourage you to phone a friend. Your math support specialists are available. Their expertise is the Everyday Counts Calendar program and Think Central. The math curriculum review members are also there and willing to answer your questions and help you out. They know a lot about Math in Focus, and they know a lot about those curriculum maps and the standards. So feel free to ask them about that. The teaching and learning team is here to help you with whatever you need. If you're struggling with grouping, ask if you're struggling with not having the resources that you need things replaced, you have general questions about math overall, then we're the folks to call. So Gretchen Fisher and I, Patricia Sanford, are just waiting to help you out with anything you need. We also set up an elementary math wiki, which is kind of your one-stop shop for all things math. So you're really going to want to know how to access this site. In order to get to it, you'll go to your campus login page. And I know you see this every day. Down at the bottom, if you click on Elk River District Wiki sites, it will take you to a list of all of our wiki sites for the district. Scroll on down to Elementary Math Curriculum and give that a click, and you're there. At the top of the page, we have math curriculum maps and Smart Notebook files, and they're arranged by grade. The Smart Notebook files were put together for you by math support specialists. We have the earliest chapters in the book done, and the math support specialist will continue to work on completing them for the rest of the book as the year goes on, so that you'll have them when you need them. But we're really excited that we were able to put those Smart Notebook files together for you, so you're not having to pull together everything that you might want to project or use. It's all in one common place for you. In the middle of the page are helpful resources. The HMH e-learning site is linked there, and that's the professional development site. So when you have questions about how to do something, that's where you should go. Think Central is also linked there, and again, that's your place for all things Math in Focus and Everyday Counts calendar online. You can access all of your resources, your teacher's edition, student edition, ancillaries, your virtual manipulatives, all of that is right there on Think Central. You'll also be able to import your class. The tech folks are kindly going to upload all of the students in the district for you so that you don't have to add your students one by one. That will not take place until about the second week of school, just because we need the students to be settled in their places before we do that major upload. So know that that will come about 2 weeks into the school year. There's a Think Central Quick Start Guide that provides you with written instructions for everything you can do on that site. And there are also links to some really helpful math websites. These are sites that the committee found over the course of our work that we felt were just absolutely invaluable to teachers. If you've forgotten how to log into Think Central over the summer, or you don't remember learning it ever, here's the login page. You simply enter your state, Elk River District, choose the school you were at last spring. If you happen to move schools, we haven't updated that yet, so it would still be where you were in the spring. Your username is your first name and your last name, all together, no capital letters, no periods. And the password, unless you've changed it, is password1 with a capital P. If you have problems logging in, please either email me directly or talk to your math support specialist, and they'll let me know so that I can get that problem fixed. Thank you again for all that you do, and thank you for just joining us on this journey. It's going to be an exciting year. At times, I'm sure it's going to be a frustrating year, but know that we are all here to do whatever we can to help make your day job easier.